My biological daughter has the biggest room in our house, and let me tell you why.
We're definitely off to a strong start by emphasizing the word biological here, but give me the reason.
Because she's the baby and she has two bigger siblings, but I want you to understand something. This is her only house. Mom and dad are still together, and it drives my stepkids insane. They're like, but she's the youngest. We're older. Why don't we get the big room? I'm jealous.
I think I kind of get your point here, but the choice of words, interesting.
Okay, mom and dad are still together, me and my husband. Everything she has is in this one house. They go every other week to another house that is fully stocked. So don't let your kids, your stepkids, anybody manipulate you for the decision that you're making by telling you that it's not fair. I have a reason.
So even if you have a reason, your stepchildren are still entitled to their feelings, and they're not manipulating you just because they feel some sort of a jealousy there. It's pretty rational to think a child would be jealous that their half sibling gets the bigger room and their parents are together. They don't have to divide everything they have into two homes. Because where you see it as they have two rooms, they see it as their family is split up and they have to divide everything they own. So they don't think of it as I have two spaces divided up. They think of it as everything I own is split in half. They have their own struggles with their parents being divorced, I'm sure. And it's very invalidating for their step-parent to say, well, see, you get a bonus of having two rooms. It's really fun. And paint it out as if you are getting the reward in the long run. And I feel like as a stepmom, it is inappropriate to say that your stepchildren are manipulating you for trying to express their jealousy because they have complex feelings and they think that they should get the bigger room because they are the oldest sibling. But you are shoving in their face that their parents are not together every chance that you can by saying, well, her parents are together, so she should have the bigger room. Your reason can be completely valid while still not be worded in a way that feels fair to a child. Because you keep emphasizing biological child. Your parents aren't together. Her parents are together. You get two rooms, so she deserves the bigger room. You keep emphasizing she deserves the bigger room because her parents are together. How do you think that's going to make them feel? You're getting mad that your kids are feeling insecure while you are making a clear division in the house. Obviously, they're going to feel insecure. Obviously, they're going to have some jealousy there when you are painting it out this way.
Too much media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Tune in
Too much
to
media.
Too much
Have fun.
Too much media.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is a creative mastery channel. We talk all things creativity and how improving your creativity can help you master your life in many ways. And if you're returning, shout out to you. Not mess with you. Let's get into today's video. Okay, so today I wanted to discuss this lady who's gotten pretty popular on TikTok. Well, she's gotten popular to the point where people started dragging her so much, she deleted every video on her channel. There's not a single video there left. However, people had kept the videos that she had up there, so it's too late, boo. Like, they're still dragging you regardless of if you deleted the videos or not. They just can't, like, stitch them anymore and stuff like that. They have to add the videos themselves and then after that talk about it. So basically, she was getting on the internet just dragging her stepkids to filth, talking about how she hate her stepkids and they're the worst and they're the scum of the earth and kids, put them on the bottom of my shoes, I be peeing on them. She didn't say all that, but basically what she was saying is that her daughter, first of all, she called her daughter her biological daughter, and then she called the stepkids, okay? Them over there. She basically doing Cinderella at her house, okay? The stepkids gotta wash the floorboards, build fires, use a toothbrush to clean the bathroom. Like, she over there playing the Wicked Witch of the West, okay? So she's basically like her biological daughter gets to have the big room, and when you see that room is massive, and then that has the stepkids have to share a room. One thing that I thought was weird about her making the stepkids share a room, though, is that they're a boy and a girl, and then and then the biological daughter is a daughter. And she's little too. She's really little. Like, she's a baby age, like toddler age. So it's like, toddlers don't even need that much space. What's she gonna do with that big room? Would have made sense to me if you weren't somebody who clearly hates the kids, would have been to make the girls share the big room. So the little girl and the stepdaughter, and then make the boy have the smaller room but by himself. because he's a boy. So that way you guys don't have to switch. As the kids get older, it's not going to make sense for a boy and a girl to share a room. That doesn't make any sense. So the boy needs to have his room by himself, and then the two girls can share a room, and it's a really big room. So the toddler's not going to need that much space, and it's enough room for the other little girl to have enough space to feel not so restrained. It's like, that just makes the most sense. Like, what? But when you're a narcissist and when you like are doing things on purpose to spite people and to hate people, oh my gosh, you're always going to do something that makes no sense and try to find sense in it in your own sick way that anybody who's outside of you and has like any type of clear perspective can see comes from a place of hate. You know, when you're very hateful, you don't do logical things. You only do things that doesn't make sense. That's how your brain works, right?
And another thing about that weird as fuck stepmom that was like, no, my bio daughter deserves the biggest room in the house. She has a stepson and a stepdaughter that are sharing the smallest room in the house. Wouldn't it be logical that you make the kids that share a room have the bigger room? And not only that, if you have a stepson and a stepdaughter and then another daughter, wouldn't you just have the daughters share the big room and then the stepson has his own room that he uses when he needs it? Because that means that you have a big room where one bed and maybe a dresser is used half of the time, and then the other half of the time the entire room is for your daughter. That's a perfect setup. And then the smaller room that is used half of the time by the stepson. That is the perfect ideal setup there. Because that room that she was in was pretty big. It was a very big room she was in. She could have fit easily 2 daughters in that room and still had room for plenty of toys. She wanted her daughter to be the only one in the big room because she thought her daughter was the only one that deserved it. And also, this is on that father because he's allowing his wife to mistreat his older 2 children. He's allowing his wife to otherize his youngest child and give her obvious favoritism and single out his oldest 2 children and treat them like they are less than and that they deserve less simply because he is not with their mother. The fact that he is allowing that under his roof instead of saying, no, you know what, my daughters will share a room and then my son will have the smaller one. He needs to put his foot down and control his wife. If she's out here posting this on the internet and then immediately deleting her account and backtracking, yeah, I need that baby mama to send me a message. I'll send her that full video. She needs to use this in court.
So this is what she's trying to do. And the internet is dragging her for it. And rightfully so. Because why would you get on the internet and admit to this? Like, CPS, hello? Can somebody come and check on them kids? Make sure everything all right, all good? Because I feel like if they was black, somebody would have been called CPS. People love calling CPS on black people. But that's the thing. Like, so, but what this kind of is making me think about the most is one of the other things people were saying is that this is 100% the dad's fault, not even the stepmom. Because of course, like, the stepmom's clearly evil. That they were saying that most likely the dad was cheating with the stepmom before they got together. Like, and that's how like the divorce happened. And now he's with the stepmom instead of the other mom. And that's why she hates the stepkids, is because, you know, they're the original family. So now she hates them because of it. Because she has to be constantly reminded that he was originally married when you met him. Like, ma'am, you went and decided to build a family with a married man. Prepare yourself. Because when he soon comes to get tired of you and the complaints of his kids, because they have an evil stepmom, he finna cheat on you too.
Your first marriage is like the first pancake that you make. You gotta throw it out because the second one is way better.
Hear me out. You find a really good pancake recipe and you learn how to make pancakes correctly, and then you make a pancake correctly the first time, so that way you don't need to throw it out and you don't need to look for a second pancake. You love the first one already.
And then your daughter's gonna be the stepkid to the biological kids. Like, what? But this has gotten me to think about this theory that I've been having lately of like, I feel as though once you leave a man, you shouldn't, like, I know this is a whole problem of like, let him see the kids, but I don't believe you should let men see the kids after y'all divorce. Or like after y'all are not together anymore. Now, this is a working theory. I'm not a hard yes or no on this theory. But one thing I've noticed about men after divorce or separation and stuff like that, I feel like most men treat their kids based off how they feel about the mom. Like a lot of times, like once they don't like the mom no more, or the mom isn't putting up with the man's BS, they kind of stop caring about the kids. Like they kind of, like men have a very like selfish mindset when it comes to kids. Like even that, like one thing I notice about men, even when they are with the mom, is like every time the mom will do something for the kids. Like I seen this online all the time where it's like the mom's like, look at these little snack boards I made for the kids, or look, I did this little gift for the kids, I made them a gift basket, I made the thing. Every time the mom calls the dad over and says, Dad, come over here and look at this thing that the kids are getting or the kids are doing or whatever, the first thing the dads always say every single time is, where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? As if they're a child. It'll be a grown man saying, where's mine? And it's hard for me to like cope with that, because I have never seen a dad do something for the kids and then the dad call the mom over and the mom say, where's mine? Only the dads do that when the moms do something for the kids. He always says, where's mine? And I think that they think that's cute. Like they think it's funny. It's just a little joke of like, where's mine? But I think it speaks to a larger problem with men, of how they love to infantilize themselves. Infantilize? Yeah, like they like to play child, you know? They like to be the kid. They like to be like, in a relationship especially, they like to be the one who's the slow one, basically. So it's a thing where it's like, I feel as though it's dangerous to leave them around the kids, because how can you call yourself a father and you are allowing your new wife to treat your kids like that? This is the time for you to be the father that stepped up. You're not even the stepdad. You can't even step up. You know? You're supposed to be like, oh, honey, no, that doesn't make any sense. You're not about to make them share a small room just because they leave every other week. This is just as much their house as it is the new daughter's house. Like, they're equally living here. And I'm like suspicious too now of like, is he paying majority of the bills? Because if so, like, huh? Like, what is happening right now? I'm like, are you living off this lady? Did you leave your wife and y'all was doing 50-50 in the last marriage, so you kind of a brokey, and you found you a sugar mama, and that's why she's over here running the program like it's like she's, you know, King Solomon in this? Like, what's going on here right now? You're supposed to be like, you're not about to treat my kids, and you're not even supposed to get with a woman who don't love your kids like they're her own, who's not talking about some, yes, these are my 2 kids, and we just had a 3rd new one. We're supposed to be even confused when we finally find out that they're technically her stepkids. We're like, wait, what? Whole time those are your stepkids? I did feel like you were kind of young to have this many kids. Now it makes sense. Oh my God, I had no clue. Y'all get along so well. They low-key even start looking like you. Like, that's how we're supposed to act when we find out. She's over here telling us free of charge. Talking about some, yeah, you know, the stepkids. Ugh, thing 1 and thing 2. She might as well have said thing 1 and thing 2.
Let's run over some things real quick. Step-parents don't have to do anything for their stepkids.
People really need to stop getting in relationships with people who already have kids if they don't want kids, or if they can't love kids that are not theirs biologically at full capacity. If I was this creator's spouse, this comment right here would have raised a million red flags in my mind. Because why is that even a thought in their head? To backtrack, this person came up on my For You page, and it was a video about how like her youngest biological daughter has the biggest room out of their 3 kids, 2 being the oldest stepkids. Long story short, she goes on to say like her youngest has the biggest room because the other 2 kids still have another parent, and so they have 2 rooms at 2 different houses. That checks out. That makes sense to me. It's the fucking follow-up comments though, because I did some digging and all she talks about is like, my stepkids, my biological kids, my stepkids, my biological kids. Which if you already like differentiate them, you know what I'm saying? Like in your mind, they're already separate. Now I can speak on this because I do this shit in real life. My wife is a stepmom and she even hates when people find out that she's a stepmom because in her head, these two kids are her kids. There's nothing she wouldn't do for them. There's not a day that she'd be like, I don't have to do anything for these kids because these are my stepkids. And those poor fucking kids, because they're gonna grow up older, right? And they're gonna look at your digital footprint. And imagine their surprise when they come up on videos of, I don't have to do anything for my stepkids. How fucking sick. There was nothing wrong with the bedroom video. She got a lot of hate comments, but I understand the reason that she did that one. Kids have 2 houses. Kids have a lot of toys, so they could disperse their 2 different toys from 2 rooms. Whereas this one kid gets all their toys in this one area, so they need a bigger room. It makes sense. But like, would you say this type of shit to their face? Like, would you go up to these stepkids and be like, I never have to do anything for you because you're my stepkid? No, you wouldn't, because that's an ugly ass way of thinking.
Oh my God,
Like,
what if that's the real story of Cat in the Hat? Is that they were stepkids and thing 1 and thing 2 represent their childlike selves that they had to leave in a box because they live with their step parent. And when the mom leaves, they take thing 1 and thing 2 out of the box and they're treated like thing 1 and thing 2 when the parents are around. Oh my God, now that cracked Dr. Seuss's case. Dr. Seuss, I'm on to you. But yeah, I'm just like, that's why I have this like working theory of like, I feel as though moms, like I kind of am getting it more now of like, for one, why the moms always get priority to the kids when these divorces and things happen. And I question whether or not we should even allow men to keep their kids after, if you guys are married, divorced, or if you're just together, break up. Because it's like they really do, like if you look at the trend, men really do base, oftentimes, most times than not, how they feel about their kids based off how they feel about the mom. Like if they feel like they have respect for the mom, then they treat the kid good. But if they stop feeling like they have respect for the mom, then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm not picking him up. Well, I'm not doing this. Oh, you don't want to do that? Then I'm not doing this for him. It's like they punish the kid in order to try to get at the mom for disagreements they're having in their relationship. Of like, well, now you're finna suffer with the kid because you're not suffering with me. If you won't suffer with me, I'm gonna make sure that you and the kids suffer together. And I'm like, wow. Because I feel as though the dad clearly has to have some sort of animosity towards the original wife. Or else why is he letting the stepmom treat his kids like that? He clearly feels some type of way about how the relationship between him and their mom ended. So he's kind of like leaving the brunt of the labor of like what happens with the kids with the stepmom. Because she's even like creating vocabulary around her treatment to them to like create this fantasy world of why they deserve that type of treatment. Like they're literal kids. She's talking about some, and they're not going to manipulate me into da-da-da-da-da. So what probably it is that their parents probably treat them well, fairly well, because they're little kids. And so now she's rewording how they're usually used to getting treated as them being manipulative. So she's like, yeah, your dad's always letting you do this because y'all manipulate him into letting y'all do this and that and the third. When it's like, no, they're kids and that's their dad. So he wants them to be happy. So he does things to make them happy. But the stepmom doesn't like that. So now she's calling it manipulation, which is insane. And I'm like, the mom shouldn't subject them to this. They shouldn't have to go to see the dad and be subjected to the wicked witch of the West. And I bet you as they start to get older and really have enough autonomy to tell their parents, like, no, we're not finna go to dad's house, they're gonna stop going there. The dad's barely gonna see those other kids. And that's exactly what the stepmom wants. She wants them to like resent her house so much and low-key hate it there so much that they stop wanting to come. And if they complain long enough and they say they don't want to come anymore, then she doesn't have to deal with them. So she has to reword it like, yeah, they're just bad kids. They're manipulative. I can't make my daughter suffer. They want my daughter to suffer just because, you know, they don't have the same mom and stuff. And that's not good for my daughter. I got to watch out for her because she's little. She's just going to keep like triangulating them until the point where the kids just make the decision of like, well, fuck dad and his new family. We're not dealing with this. And then she doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And then she can have another kid and replace them completely and act like the old kids don't exist. And I feel like that's exactly what should happen, because it's just like, F you, Otis.
Together. Like me. So my real daughter has the biggest room in the house. I mean, not my real daughter, but like my biological daughter, like the daughter that's really mine for real. Like my child, my shit, right? She got the biggest room in the house, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Now y'all might not fuck with it because she the baby and she has 2 older siblings. But like her parents are still together. Like me and my nigga, we still together. Like she has a 2-parent household. So yeah, you know, my stepkids jealous as shit for real. Like they be like, oh my God, why she get the biggest room? She don't even need it. She's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, bro, like I don't really give a fuck about nothing y'all talking about, because for real, like y'all got y'all own house at y'all mom's house. They got 2 houses, bro. And they got another whole house that's fully stocked. You know what I'm saying? She got 1 house because me and my husband still married. You feel me? We still together and shit like that. Like we two-parent household type shit. Like 2 parent income, 2 parents, bitch. At the end of the day, they go to another motherfucking house every other week with their real mom, and they got shit over there. Like why you want my baby shit? Like stay over there with your fucking mom. And your mom can give you whatever she want. I'm going to give my kid whatever I want in our house. Y'all have 2 houses, bitch. Because you remember, like my kid, both parents are still together. She got both her parents still together. Fuck you talking about. Moral of the story is, don't let your stepkids get mad because you're treating your real kid better. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not that deep. Like, fucking don't let nobody try to manipulate you thinking you the bad guy the whole time. You just trying to provide solely for your kid. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody else's children. Like, this is my responsibility. That ain't my damn responsibility. Fuck you talking about. Go to your mom's house with that shit. But my real daughter has the biggest room.
Like, I really do notice that, like, I don't know. I don't feel as though men feel the same level of, like, responsibility for children as moms do. And so it's kind of a thing where it's like you really do have to be careful allowing a man who hates you to be with your kids, even if he fathered them. It's like a thing where it's like he might not care as much as he would have when he was worried about whether or not you was going to give him some pum pum at the end of the night. Now that that's off the table, he really not gonna care. He's not gonna wanna go out of his way to protect them and like make them feel loved and wanted. To an extent, just because he doesn't want to feel like he's a bad guy. But like not to the level of when you were his wife and you were doing all extra type of stuff for him. Grown man coming over after you do something for the kids talking about what about me? Sir, go build a house or something. Like what? I don't know. This whole story was really insane to me though.
Too much media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Tune in
Too much
to
media.
Too much
Have fun.
media. Too much media.